Peace, family. It's your guy, Boro the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Garden of Consciousness, where we help you plant seeds to grow into your higher self. So as you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about Leo season, all right? We all know we have different energies. So different seasons, we have to learn to correlate our energies in order to align ourselves with the energies and the influences of the world that we're catching. So we can continue to manifest, we can continue to do what the things we want to do in this realm. Now, when we're talking about Leo season, all right? Whenever the sun is moving into a new space, a new house, all right? Right now, the sun is in the 5th house space in the solar system, all right? So wherever you have Leo at in your chart, this is where the sun is transiting. This is the house, and we're going to get into the houses, but in this video, we're going to be talking about Leo season for all signs. So we know when the sun moves into a new season, a new space, a new sign, all right? This is a new awareness. The sun is about awareness, what you're consciously aware of, what you're paying attention to, what you're taking action on. So, and how things look, how things are being seen. So when you have the sun moving into Leo, the sun is home in Leo. All right, whenever a planet is home, this is a place where it feels comfortable. All right, it feels comfortable doing whatever energy it is that it hones in on. So we're talking about the sun. The sun is dealing with expression. The sun is dealing with paying attention, being consciously aware, all right, being seen, your vitality. So these are the energies that we're diving into right now with Leo season, but with the sun moving into Leo, Leo's fixed fire. So when we're talking about fixed fire, we're talking about having a fixed way of dealing with how you see and feel things, all right, and ruled by the sun, coming out of the 5th house. The 5th house is dealing with creative expression, artistic expression, entertainment on all mechanisms, how you like to entertain others, how you like to be entertained, and what you choose to entertain. The 5th house is dealing with all childlike, youthful-like activity and energy, all right? And anything that falls into a creative endeavor falls into the 5th house, and ultimately how we just like to have fun in this lifetime. Those are all your 5th house energies. Those are all Leo-like energies. So with the sun moving into Leo, this is what we're all being influenced to pay attention to take action on. We're all being influenced in some type of shape or form to put a part of ourselves in the spotlight. The Leo 5th house energy is dealing with how we set the stage up to be, to creatively express ourselves, artistically express ourselves. How does your stage need to be orchestrated? All right, the Leo is the entertainer on the stage. When Leo season, we're not talking about, how we're working behind the scenes, all right, how we're planning what we're about to do on the stage. Now, we're on the stage right now, all right? So how do you want your stage cultivated for you to do your thing, and what are you going to be putting in the spotlight? This is what we all being influenced to pay attention during Leo season. Now, because we all have different energies, because we all may not be Leos, all right, so we're not all naturally doing these things, we may have a hard time aligning with this energy, and some other signs naturally are going to be provided opportunities and certain gifts during this season. So this is what we're going to be looking at as we get into it. All right, so Leo season for all signs, and now we're going to be starting off with Aries. Now when we talk about Aries is cardinal fire. So this is the same element as the season we're in. Leo is fire. So if you're in Aries, you're already aligning with the frequency vibration of the element that we're in. Right now, we're all being influenced to deal with expression, all right? Even though it's fixed fire, Leo fire, overall, when we're talking about fire, this is the expression of the internal. This is the push out of what's internal, all right? This is, expressing what you see, your visions, all right? Being inspired, inspiring others, enlightening others, awareness. All fire lights up, you can see and you can feel it. So when the sun is transiting your element, you already naturally are going to be provided opportunities, because the natural ways that you act and see things align with that element, even though it's in different ways, because Aries is cardinal. All right, so as an Aries during Leo season, you guys are going to be provided opportunities, and the reason you're going to be provided opportunities because you will naturally, as an Aries, you already naturally deal with expressing yourself. You already naturally deal with, looking at your personal passions, goals, and desires, and how you can take action and initiative on these things. The sun is in Leo. The sun is influencing everybody on how to deal with their creative and artistic expressions. So by you naturally diving into energies of you paying attention and wanting to take action and initiative on your passions, goals, and desires, that's already aligning with the energy of pushing out your creative and artistic expression, because that may already fall into the ways you're dealing with your personal passions, goals, and desires. And if the way you're dealing with your passions, goals, and desires are lacking some creativity, which is not likely for a fire sign. I don't even want to say lacking creativity. However, this season you'll be provided opportunities to gain awareness, the sun, gain awareness and a bigger, broader perspective on how to look at applying creativity or forms of entertainment or forms of your artistic expression or what you're just creatively into, to how you deal with your passions, goals, and desires. All right, Aries, so this is what you want to look out for. And at the same time, the sun is going to be you guys right now, if you're an Aries, you're already real charged up right now, because we all have Mars. We're picking up the influence of Mars in Aries. So if you were Aries, Mars is right next to your sun in Aries, all right? And Mars loves to be in Aries, so there's a whole bunch of charge of wanting to take action on your intentions, all right? And this is what you do every day as an Aries. So this season, with the whole Mars and Aries transit, is going to be a super, not having a filter on being rational about diving into your passions, diving into your actions, diving into how you see and feel about things. So you got to be careful there that you don't block opportunities because you're so focused on these things. All right, and you got to make sure you don't overwhelm yourself, exhaust yourself. But there are going to be opportunities to align how you personally deal with things during Leo season. All right, just be able to catch those opportunities. When people align with your passions, goals, and desires, test the water, test the temperament of the situation, see what's being provided, see what's being influenced at the time. All right, this is what you want to be aware of, Aries. Now, my Tauruses, okay? Taurus is fixed earth. So on an everyday basis, Taurus are being fixed in their ways of dealing with practicality and how they're planting seeds in their values in order to build stability, financial security, and become comfortable in this lifestyle and have things situated the way they want to be situated in a realistic type of way. Now, this is a square because Taurus and Leo square each other. They're both fixed signs. So Taurus is being fixed on practicality while Leo's being fixed on its creative endeavors and how it's being seen and how it expresses itself. So when you have this type of alignment, this is a lesson for Taurus during this season. There's things to learn this season. Whenever we talking about squares, we talking about learning processes, all right? So my Tauruses out there, understand that this season, you got to kind of be able to go with the flow when it comes to how you catch visions and what you see and feel. As a Taurus, we know that you guys like to deal with growth and patience, planting seeds, and transformation ain't really your thing because you guys most of the time already have a form of stability that you look at that's secure to you, that you already value, and you look at as that's consistent, and I don't have to come back and forth to see what's going to come out of that every week or how much money I'm making out of that every week or how this person's going to act every week. I like my consistent, secure situations. Now, this season we have to learn how to align with fixed fire. Okay, so this is where the learning process comes in. How are you going to be able to align creativity and artistic expression and your forms of entertainment and the ways you have fun with how you're dealing with the seeds that you plant and the values, with how you're dealing with stability, practicality. You don't want your practicality and being too you don't want your practicality to block forms of having fun, forms of gaining awareness about how to add creative attributes to what you're doing in your life already. And you can block those opportunities simply by not wanting to necessarily dive into a form of having fun, creative expression, artistic expression, or putting something in a spotlight just because you feel like it's not practical. And you not diving into that experience, you're missing gems and things you're supposed to learn square during this season that you could be like, oh snap, this is a creative way I could deal with what I'm doing. This is a real or I'm inspired to add this attribute into what I'm already doing in a fixed way. It's a learning process. So all Tauruses, you guys need to come out this season with something that you've learned that you can apply to what you're already doing in your life, with your stability, with your fixed ways of gaining security, with your fixed ways of dealing with business, relationships, and your values overall through certain creative things that you picked up on about yourself or through others during Leo season. Certain things about expressing yourself you picked up within yourself or from others during Leo season. All right, family? So this is what you want to understand, all my Tauruses out there. And once again, when we're doing these readings, we just want to understand that we're not saying to change everything we're doing. We just want to understand that the influence of the season may not necessarily align with my sun, moon, rising or whatnot. So I have to understand this. So the more that I could just apply some of this energy every day, it'll just help what I'm already doing. All right. Now, Gemini. Gemini is mutable air. All right. So this is being mutable and adaptable towards towards your own and other people's ways of dealing with logic and communication. All right, it's an air sign. We know air sextiles fire. So this is a gift. Geminis, you got the gift this season. Now, the gift here is Geminis during Leo season. You guys are all gonna have the gift to give life to ideas that you have with people that you relate to, or you're gonna have the gift to be able to give life to some of the creative endeavors that you may have had ideas of. And the way you're going to be able to do this is going to be a lot through your relationships, through how people communicate. You're going to be able to pick up on things that instantly you can apply, which is a way that you're either going to express yourself with how you're dealing with something, a creative artistic attribute about yourself, or something external that you could pick up to add on to how you're dealing with something. Or overall, you guys, just by your sense of communication and picking up information, this is already the body that's going to be able to give some type of creative idea life this season. All right, even for my Geminis, if you guys already have certain creative attributes brewing at the moment, and you ain't really know how to take action, how to take initiative on these things, or you feel like you need more information, you know, during Leo season, you're really going to be provided opportunities to either have them conversations, or seek that information, or collect that information, or be enlightened, or become aware about how you can give an idea some life, because fire needs air to travel. All right. So as an air sign, Gemini, sextile, and Leo, you're dealing with communication, you're dealing with relating, and this is how you get a lot of your information. Now, when it comes to taking action, when it comes to giving an idea that you've been thinking about for a long time, some type of life, some type of experience, some type of time in motion, you're gonna be able to do that this season based off the influence we're all catching to take action on these things. And you already got a gift this season because you collected information about these things. All right, you've been relating yourself around people that either are aligning with your creative attributes or how you think about things, and this gives you the fuel to be able to put things together in your mind in order for you to take action on these things. All right, so Geminis, you really want to take heed to this during this season. All right, and this is why astrology is so important, because we could naturally be focusing on things, not knowing the alignments, and then when a certain transit comes around, when you have a certain opportunity, gift, or whatnot, it's like, you know, a lot of things could be manifested during these times. So right now, as a Gemini, you know this, Geminis, you know you got the gift right now. You know that your ways of communication and the way you do things through your personality and your actions allow you to create opportunities to take action on things that you already relating and communicating about. All right. A lot of you Geminis are going to be approached by people during this season that want to add on and support to something they may have heard you talking about, communicating about, not heard you thinking about, but something they heard you communicating to somebody else that you've been thinking about lately. All right, and there's going to be a way to align how you creatively, artistically do things with the ways you communicate and what you want to give life to. All right. Remember, the emphasis in Leo season is expression, creative expression, more specifically being lively, getting out there, creating new experience, newness. The sun deals with newness, giving life, birth. So this is what we want to do, what we want to be influenced to be doing. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you put yourself in a state where something about you is being put in the spotlight. You're making sure something's getting some light. You're making sure something's getting some attention. All right, you want to make sure you're becoming enlightened or enlightening something else or putting something in the light, because that's essentially what we're dealing with as well. All right, yes, we're dealing with creative artistic expression, but what about your internal are you putting in the light? We just left Cancer season, so we were dealing with the internal, we were dealing with emotional stability, we were dealing with feelings, emotions, how, and you know, what in the external realm, what people, places, and things that we care about, how they relate to our feelings and emotions. Now during Leo season, we took care of the internal. Now it's time to push out some creativity. Now it's time for us to enlighten others from what we already got within. So Geminis, it's time to be seen, you know, for some of them ideas, some of them creative ideas you have. We don't want to go a whole 30 days not pushing out any of that, not getting any substance from, you know, the experiences that we've went through, taking action or initiative on these things, especially when you know you got the gift right now. Next we have Cancer. All right, now once again we're talking about putting things in the spotlight during Leo season. All right, and when we talk about Cancer, this is cardinal water, creating new ways to feel, all right, or to deal with the feelings and emotions. All right, creating and initiating new ways to deal with feelings and emotions. So this is what a Cancer is doing on an everyday basis. Now the Cancer is also ruled by the ultimate feminine energy, which is the moon. Right now we're being influenced by the ultimate masculine energy, all right, which is the sun in Leo. It's home. Okay, so with Cancers right now, you're gonna be influenced to put your feelings and emotions or something from within the internal in the spotlight during Leo season. We're all being influenced to put something in the spotlight, but based off our energies is how we're going to deal with these things. Cancers, you deal with the feelings and emotions on an everyday basis. So being cardinal water, being ruled by the moon, you know, you guys are compelled to take action or react and respond to things that are going to help maintain or alter the emotional stability you want to stay in. All right, whether it look like you got to take a positive or negative action to make sure you feel the way you want to feel. During Leo season, you guys are going to be influenced not to care. Let me say not to care, because Cancers care, but you guys are going to be influenced to put how you feel on the stage. All right, whether it's you, and we just got out of Cancer season, so we were already supposed to be taking actions and analyzing, observing, and reviewing and reflecting the things that we're supposed to be doing in order to provide emotional stability in this lifetime. All right, now them things may not have been expressing how you feel necessarily. It could have just been a certain action you took in the household to fix that, and now things are good. It may have been diving into solitude and privacy, and now you're good. But now, during Leo season as a Cancer, how you feel, you need to make sure that's being seen. So as a Cancer, you can be influenced to show out during Leo season, especially when we have the new moon in Cancer, these two new moons, because Leo season started with an influence of Cancer energy. All right, so we already in a state of wanting to react and respond to our creative attributes and how we're being seen and how we push out our creativity. So being a Cancer, yes, you guys are gonna feel hard about doing these things. More than a lot of signs when we're all even being influenced of doing these things. So you just got to make sure that situations you're in that you know, instead of you taking an action to set the environment a certain way, if it's a one-on-one conversation you can have with somebody, have that one-on-one conversation, because just putting your feelings and emotions and your temperament and your vibration on the stage for everybody to feel it, that is very likely for a Cancer during the season. So this is what you guys want to make sure that you're paying attention to. But also, you guys are going to be influenced to react and respond to your creative attributes, period. You're already dealing with reacting and responding to what makes you feel a certain way, and we all going to be influenced to be feeling and seeing how we're dealing with creativity and artistic attributes. So you're going to be in a state of really reacting and responding to your forms of creativity, to your forms of artistic expressions. Cancers and some Cancers deal with vulnerability, pushing these things out, all right, because you guys are real homebodies. So a lot of like the energy you cultivate around your life make things real internal. You end up relating to people that you're close to. You end up wanting to do things with people you're close to. This season you're gonna actually feel that courage to be like, yo, I'm gonna put this in the light. I'm gonna go put this in front of some new faces, or I'm gonna go do this for the first time. I'm gonna go broadcast this, express this for the first time. You're gonna feel that influence. So roll with that so you can create these new experiences so you can learn. All right, Cancers. Now we got Leos. All right, all my Leos. Now Leos, you guys got the light. Happy birthday, Leos. All right, happy solar return. Hope you guys enjoy. Remember, family, the sun, when the sun is in the sign of your sun sign, it's your birthday the whole season. All right, you got the light the whole season. The whole constellation is shining up. Now, you know, it's more what's the word? It's more specific when it gets to your sun degree, because that's like the specific, you know, I guess, day that you came in. All right, day that you incarnated around that degree. But at the same time, when the sun is in your sign, it's your birthday the whole season. Live it up. You're being seen for the whole season. That's the thing. As the sun in Leo, with the sun transit in Leo, we're being influenced to take actions and try to see and feel things the way a Leo naturally does on an everyday basis. So Leos, we watching y'all. Y'all are the examples. You just being you. All right, so this is what I mean when I say y'all got the light. We watching y'all. We got to understand how to correlate our energies like y'all. So you, by just being the Leo, by just being expressive, naturally upbeat, trying to enlighten others. All right, trying to put the light on others, help others to understand. Leos are good for helping others to understand what light they have in themselves, and they also do it subconsciously too. Whether it's a Leo is just directly telling you what you're good at, what you're talented at, what you a lot of people see you for, and you should put some more energy into, all right, or enlightening you to something you're good at, you're talented at. Leos are great for that. But at the same time, you, by just looking at a Leo and seeing how they carry themselves, express themselves, it could be a Leo that's not even talented like that, and you can see how they gain attention, gain light from their personality, and how they just express it, and how they come off as somebody, a spirit that shines. All right, can't even name a creative attribute they do, but they shine. All right, that's a Leo. That's the lion. That's the lioness. So that's how a Leo also inspires you, just by looking at their energy, how they carry themselves. All right, Leos. So you guys go out here and continue to manifest, shine bright. You guys continue to keep doing what you're doing. This season, a lot of opportunity is going to come your way just by taking action and being seen as an example. People are going to want to add on to that. People are going to want to correlate themselves and align themselves with you. All right. So that's what you want to keep in mind during this Leo season. Now we have Virgos. All right, my Virgos. Okay, what we got down here for my Virgos? Virgos is a mutable earth. So Virgos, you guys are dealing with being mutable and adaptable towards your own and other people's ways of dealing with practicality. So this is what a Virgo wants to learn from other people, to see how to do it, to add on to how they're doing these things themselves. They want to see how people are being practical. They want to see how people work on things. They want to see how people get from point A to B. They want to see, they're going to do their research on how much this job paying, how much this career paying, how to organize this, how to associate themselves with this person and learn this thing about stability. This is what Virgos are paying attention to on an everyday basis now. It's Leo season. We're all being influenced to put things on the spotlight and the stage. So Virgos, you guys naturally dive into forms of heavy research, collecting and looking up a lot of information. You guys got that mutable earth energy with that influence of Mercury there. Mercury's real curious, trying to pick up information, see the details of everything, seeing how things work, seeing how to routine things and organize thoughts to communicate to others. So this season, Virgos, you guys got to go more with the flow, with your visions, with your insight. All right, because as a Virgo, you can get inspired about something. You could catch an influence about something, a creative influence or something, but your energy is going to dive you into getting so critical and getting into how to be practical about these things. Now, that is a good thing. That is a good thing, learning how to get practical about your creative attributes and seeing how you could realistically reel these things down from your imagination down into the practical realm, down into this earth realm. But the thing is, as a Virgo, you guys can overthink and be critical when it comes to things that we might want to go with the flow with. That's more of a vibrational thing. That's more of a vision thing. All right, more of a natural influence. So you don't want to be too overcritical about the things you guys are choosing to put in the spotlight. Give yourselves an opportunity to experience the vulnerability that comes with expressing a creative artistic attribute, or putting a form of your personality or how you express yourself in the spotlight, and not overthinking how you're pushing these things out. You're gonna put yourself in a state, once again, the sun in Leo, awareness, being consciously aware. You're going to put yourself in a state to become more consciously aware of how you can correlate some of your actions without having to be so practical, without understanding that whatever you're into, you're already creative and artistic in these things, and some things got to come from the internal without heavy research. Some things you got to show your natural light. Leo's about showing your natural light, what you naturally can be seen for. All right, how you naturally like to express yourselves, your unique and artistic, creative ways of expressing yourselves. We want to see these things during Leo season. The universe is influencing us to push these things out. So Virgo, don't let your ways of overthinking hold back on these things. Some of you Virgos are some of the most creative people, but the more you learn to go with the flow of some of these things, especially following your opposite, learning from your opposite sign, Pisces, helps you to learn how to go with the flow of things and cultivate your energies in some ways and not overthinking. At the same time, Pisces need to learn from you how to get more practical. But during Leo season, don't block opportunities by being over practical about certain visions you catching, certain things you get inspired by, all right, and certain influences you're catching about how to push out your creativity, artistic attributes. Don't allow your overcritical ways of trying to see the details of things hold you back from pushing out a certain light and expressing certain things. We in Leo season, we want to express now, push out now. You don't want to catch an idea or still be analyzing, observing the influence when you could be diving into that form of expression, living. Leo, being lively, giving life. You want to be living, giving life, new experiences to certain things now. All right, you don't want to wait till we in Virgo season, Libra season, and they're like, all right, I spent 2 months analyzing, observing this. Boom, let me push it out now. It may not be the right time to align with that energy at the moment. All right, Leo season, this is it. All right, so I just don't want you guys to hold back on certain things when this is a great time to push out right now when it comes to how you want to express yourself. Now, my Libras, all right. Libra is cardinal air ruled by Venus. So this is creating and initiating new ways to deal with logic and communication. All right. Now, as a Libra, you like taking action on your relationships. You like taking action within the mind before you take action physical. All right. The sun is debilitated in Libra. So Libras naturally may feel a little lethargic, or like I said, do a lot of their action in their mind in order to not have to take as much physical steps. Overall, Libras want to push out harmony. They want to push out actions that's going to balance. They want to push out being relatable to the external realm. When you have the sun, Libra, the sun is already debilitated in Libra. When you have the sun in its home place, now Libras, you're going to be feeling influence to take action on all them ideas, and you're going to have an influence of developing your own fixed way of how you want to take action on things instead of feeling like you have to be so relatable. All right. Now the thing is, Leo and Libra sextile each other. So Libras, you got the gift on being able to use your logic and use your ways of communicating with others in your relationships in order to give life to these ideas, in order to give life into some things that you may be sleeping on yourself. I like to say you Libras sleep on yourself a lot, and a lot of that influence comes with the debilitation from the sun. So right now, Libras, you want to get more goal orientated. You want to get action orientated. You want to make sure that debilitation of the sun in Libra ain't playing out in Leo season, because this ain't the time for that. All right, it's the time for that sun to be active, to take action, for you to be seen, for you to gain some experience by taking action into the things that you're creatively into that you may stay in the head a lot with. And this is also the season, even though you have the gift of aligning your relationships and your ways of being relatable and your ways of communicating in order to support and give life to your actual creative endeavors, you also want to see how your individual approach to your goals as well. Okay, because when we're talking about Leo, we're talking about shining, we're talking about self-expression. All right, so you might dim your light by feeling like you have to give so much of a percentage of what you're personally working on, how you personally see things, your personal inspiration, and trying to balance that with others, spread it with others, share it in a group effort with others. You may want to take more self-initiative on these things because you got the gift to bring these things to light. Obviously, like I said, the gift aligns with communication and relatability with your actions, but this may also be in a way of seeing how other people relate and communicate in order to give you inspiration or build a broader awareness of how you can take action, or more of a creative action, or add more creative, artistic, or overall creative attributes to how you're taking action, to how you're relating to people, or how you're adding it to the ideas that you want to grow and for the things you want to express. Remember, Leo, we all want to be on the stage for something. Libras, you're gonna feel like having your creative attributes be on the stage, but a lot of the ways you take action is from relating to others. So you want to find a way to find how you relate to others and take a percentage and substance out of that to put it in an individual approach of how you're dealing with your creative attributes. Scorpio. So when we're talking about Scorpio's fixed water, okay, ruled by Mars. So this is having a fixed way of dealing with the feelings and emotions. All right. Now this is a square. Scorpio squares Leo. We're talking about putting things in the spotlight. Scorpios are not necessarily comfortable with always putting things in the spotlight, gaining attention, or being in the light for things. Scorpio constellation comes out the 8th house. This is learning how to do things behind the scenes. This is learning the energies behind what's surface, what you can see with the naked eye. So during this Leo season, Scorpios, you have a lesson you guys have to learn. Moving into Virgo season, coming out of Leo season, there has to be an awareness that you guys have grown, dealing with how you express yourself, dealing with how you deal with gaining some type of attention, gaining some type of light, and how you deal with your creativity and artistic attributes as far as pushing these things out. Now, like I said, the Leo constellation is dealing with expression and how we can gain awareness about expression, and how we want to dive into new experiences of expressing ourselves or having our personality being seen, or diving into our creative, artistic, and art endeavors and entertainment endeavors. So it's like, as a Scorpio, you want to put yourself in a state of dealing with that vulnerability during this season. All right, it may be something you're creative at as a Scorpio, and you may have kept this behind the scenes for very long. Allow yourself to learn, put yourself in. See, for all you squares, Scorpio, Taurus, and opposite Aquarius, and we're gonna get there. But for all you squares and opposites, you gotta understand that if you are a square opposite to the sun during a sun or any moon transit, you want to put yourself in an opportunity of dealing with that energy so you can learn what you gotta learn, because in some type of shape or form, the universe is already you're gonna be feeling the influence of that square, of that opposition. So the more you fight that, the more that the universe is trying to teach you what you're supposed to learn. So when you know the squares in your chart, you know the squares in the solar system at the moment, squaring your sun, your moon, your rising, or whatnot. You know, squaring this planet, that planet, opposite this planet, that planet. Put yourself in a state of dealing with that energy so you can learn what you gotta learn, so the universe don't gotta create a more catastrophic or chaotic moment in order for you to learn the lesson. All right, family? So that's very key to understand. Scorpios, put yourself out there, deal with that vulnerability of having some of your deep passions, deep intention, deep goals, or deep desires, or the things that you want to set intentions on that are really deep behind the scenes that a lot of people may not know about. Deal with the vulnerability of pushing these things out this season. That's where the substance, that's where the wisdom, that's where the learning is gonna come in. All right, you're gonna fuck around, express some shit about something that you into on a creative level. All right, you're gonna end up putting something about your personality, or something about your deep passions, goals, and desires, and something that you're creatively, artistically into behind the scenes in the spotlight. And you're gonna be enlightened or gain awareness about how people react to this, how the external realm reacts to it, to the point that it helps you correlate how to deal with that thing, instead of just keeping it so deep down that it's like, all right, I'm gonna just wait for the best moment, I'm gonna keep honing in on it, and then it's like you're subconsciously looking for a confirmation from the external realm to push this out. Now, it's gonna come from you giving yourself confirmation from gaining an experience by putting yourself in the experience of putting this out. It's a square, so you're gonna be influenced to do these things. You're gonna be influenced to express how you see things, and you're gonna be expressed to kind of put light on some things that you may naturally keep behind the scenes. When you catch these influences, deal with that vulnerability so we can learn, so we can spiritually expand. So now, when it comes to that creative, artistic attribute, you know, shit. It becomes the vulnerability that you was dealing with it in the first place. It's like, damn, I don't know why like I knew my music was dope. Like I knew it was in the first place. Why was I so vulnerable? Like look at how much people think my music is cool, or how I creatively, artistically do this is cool, or how much people are inspired and enlightened by how I actually feel when I express myself. And this is what happens when you deal with that learning process, and this is what the learning process for Scorpios are during this season. All right, family? All right, now when we talking about my Sagittarius out there, all right, my Sagittarius, this is mutable fire. This is being mutable and adaptable towards your own and other people's ways of dealing with how they see and feel about things. fire, seeing and feeling. So once again, my Sagittarius is out here. You guys are going to be provided opportunities during this season. All right, you already align with the fire element. You're already naturally expressing, you know, how you see and feel about things on a natural everyday basis. But you know, the difference with your fire is just that, unlike an Aries or Leo, you actually are more relatable with how you see and feel about things. You'll give other people opportunities to see how they see and feel about how you see and feel. All right, Aries may not really care about how other people see and feel about their visions and their passions, goals, and desires. A Leo is more so focused on how they see and feel about it. All right, ain't really trying to transform it. But you know, they'll be relatable as far as seeing what you into, being like, oh, that's dope. Not necessarily saying they want to get into that. All right, Sagittarius, they'll give themselves the opportunity to learn from somebody else and see how they can add on from how somebody else sees and feels about something to how they see and feel about something. All right, it's that mutable energies. It's mutable, it's adaptable, it's chameleon-like. All right, it's transformable. All right, the more wiser signs in the zodiac. So when we talking about you Sagittarius, you're naturally expressing yourself on an everyday basis, but you know, you rule by Jupiter coming out of that ninth house energy. So more so, you're really expressive about, you know, what you know, with your wisdom about things. You know, more real expressive about your experiences and what you've learned, and maybe certain adventures you went on and things that inspire you. This is a lot of what you express with you Sagittarius is. During Leo season, you guys are going to be provide opportunity, because just by the way you guys are expressive, just by the way that you guys are relatable with how you see and feel about things, being mutable fire, the influence with Leo, with people wanting to be influenced to take action on how they creatively express themselves, artistically express themselves, or express themselves, period. They're going to be looking at some of y'all Sagittarius is like, damn, I need to align myself with the Sagittarius, or I need to support this Sagittarius, or like this Sagittarius know how to express, you know, things they know how to dive into forms of having fun, or being adventurous, spontaneous. All right, a lot of that I would say Sagittarius are way more adventurous and spontaneous than Leos, but then again, you can have a Leo that is super it go hand in hand. But Sagittarius is seek new experiences. Leos can be fixed in their ways of entertainment, but they still want to deal with entertainment, creative expression, artistic expression. All right, Sagittarius may just be down for whatever new experience, for whatever seems like it's something they can learn from because they never experienced it before. A Leo may not be down for every new experience, but still want to be real lively. All right, so you know, Sagittarius is, like I said, you're going to create opportunities just by you being yourself, you being a fiery, expressive person, dealing with, you know, inspiring others based off how you express yourself, or being able to gain an awareness of how you can creatively or artistically dive into certain things, into what you're doing based off of how somebody else was expressing yourself, and how you give yourself an opportunity to learn from that, to learn how other people express themselves. Because as your element, as your sun sign element, this is also the element you pay attention to as well. Whatever your sun sign is in, this, you're paying attention to everything dealing with that energy, the element. You know, how people deal with the element. So as a fire sign, you guys pay attention and are consciously aware of people's actions, how they express themselves. You guys see that more than what people may actually, you know, how people communicate to you. All right, it's more so actions and how the volume and how they're expressing themselves when they're communicating. Like, y'all pick up on all that shit. All right, the imagery and everything. So as a Sagittarius, you're going to provide opportunities for you to learn how to add more creative, artistic energies into what you're doing, into what you're already working on, into how you're dealing with the things that you want to take action on, just by how you're learning how people are dealing with this Leo energy, influence to deal with this energy at the moment. All right, Sagittarius, so understand that, keep an eye out for these opportunities, okay? And understand that we are in a state of being expressive, so continue to do you, don't hold back. One more thing about Sagittarius before we move on to Capricorn is that we're all being influenced to put ourselves, to put, you know, something in our life about us in the spotlight. So Sagittarius, be careful, because you guys can already come off preachy, all right, come off real know-it-all-ish. So make sure that, you know, even though you're creating opportunities by being expressive, that you're not influenced to go out your way to gain some type of light or attention by how you express yourself, because you being you is about to share some of that fire light that the sun is getting in Leo. All right, family? So understand that. Now, Capricorns, this is cardinal earth. It's cardinal earth. So this is creating and initiating new ways to deal with practicality. All right, new ways to build stability and build a foundation and do things in a practical way and get from point A to B. All right, if that look like it makes sense, I'll fuck with it. But if not, I'm gonna create a new way to deal with that way of initiating stability in this lifetime. All right, and there's also Capricorn, they dealing with their social status, their presentation, how they being broadcasted to the world. So this is an in conjunction. And when we're talking about in conjunction, this is almost an opposite, all right? So Capricorn and Aquarius is opposite from Leo. Capricorn right there next to it, all right? And then motherfucking Cancer right next to Leo. Capricorn's opposite sign. So overall, Leos and Capricorns, they create a lot of misunderstandings, all right? In conjunction angles, they're almost opposite, so they create misunderstandings. So two of these energies a lot of the times could be on the same page, but just the way they're either expressing or communicating or aligning, they not, you know, seeing where each other's coming from when they may be wanting the same things, when they're maybe going the same place. Even Leos and Caps play out a lot of similar energies in a way, all right? Especially with Capricorns both dealing with, you know, Capricorn dealing with its presentation, how it's broadcasted to the world. Just like a Capricorn and a Leo, like if, you know, a Leo may not want to necessarily be seen and express themselves the way they naturally feel like doing so if their presentation ain't designed and cultivated the way they want it to be. That is something similar with a Capricorn, all right? But the thing is, with Capricorns being cardinal earth, initiating new ways to deal with practicality, but being ruled by Saturn, so you're only trying to deal with practicality and things that make sense in order to build foundation stability in your life and help you get from point A to B when it comes to career or your social status. Now, this season, you're going to be influenced to see what type of creative attributes you could throw into how you're building your social status, how you're putting your social status in the spotlight and being seen. All right, Capricorns, you're going to have this influence of wanting to be seen for your social status, really wanting to get more light than you feel like you are getting, or wanting to, you know, take more action on the things that will develop more of a social status, and having your creative or artistic attributes being seen throughout these things, all right, throughout how you're broadcasting yourself to the world. So at this moment during the season, Capricorns, you want to make sure that when you're putting yourself, when you're taking action and trying to develop things about your social status, that, you know, you're aligning it with seeing how other people deal with ways of inspiration, all right? Seeing how people deal with ways of their creative endeavors, because as a Capricorn with that Saturn element here, you can look at things real practical and deflect the light. Saturn don't really reflect light. So a lot of the times when you guys look at people forms of entertainment or artistic or creative endeavors, it's almost like you're like, okay, that's creative, but it don't look practical. It don't look like you're using it for no form of stability. That mindset might be the mindset that blocks opportunities for you to learn or align with certain creative ways of doing things for your career or to help grow your social status, instead of picking up on this influence and feeling like you have to put yourself out in the light in some type of shape or form. That light can get cultivated if you take a second to deal with more creative attributes to add into your regimen instead of just being a practical day-to-day detailed thing, all right? A lot of earth signs want to stick to what makes sense, but when you get to Capricorn with that influence of Saturn, it could get really dry there. And the sun is about birth, life. It's about giving life. Saturn, you know, could be real non-reflective with things dealing with entertainment, creativity, or whatnot. Because to Saturn, that don't make sense a lot of the times. So Capricorns, we don't want to block opportunities with this type of energy, okay? Learn to align how, you know, the influence we're all catching of taking action in things that we're creatively into, expressing our creative source from within, and see how you can align that with your social status in your career, instead of feeling like you just have to put your career and social status out there because it may come off non-harmonious. All right, now moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius is the opposite sign to the sun. So right now you guys are going to be receiving the opposite energy. Your guys' actions is going to be coming off opposite if you're not aware of how to align yourself with the energy across from you. All right, now when we're dealing with the opposite energies, once again, it's always a give and exchange. There's always two things that these energies got to come and give each other. All right, so when we're talking about the Leo and Aquarius opposite, as an Aquarius sun, you don't necessarily care about diving into what's in the light, what's popping, what's the way everybody wants to be entertained at the way or whatnot. You already have a way of doing things, your own individual way of thinking and perceiving things. All right, you can be real separated from your thought towards the collective, but still find ways to align with the collective. Since we're all picking up the influence of being seen, wanting to express and project and put ourselves out there, during this season you're going to manifest opportunities where you're going to have to learn to align maybe with a person, place, or thing in the external realm and be in the light. Be somewhat with the collective in the light, in the social event, dealing with your entertainment mechanism or your forms of aligning your ways of dealing with creative or artistic endeavors. But maybe your ways of having to align that is going to put some spotlight, put some attention on what you're doing. And that may not be necessarily what you're looking for. You may just want to connect, network, associate yourself to get from point A to B. And now some creative attributes maybe you wanted to keep behind the scenes, or maybe some ways of communicating or expressing yourself that you usually wouldn't take part in, you're catching the influence to express yourself in a certain way. This influence is going to be strong because it's your opposite sign. So every day during this season on my Aquariuses, when you wake up in the bed, when you come out in the world, understand that the sun is about light, giving birth. You're ruled by Saturn, so you're more so trying to make sense of practicality of how I connect to others. Make sure the way you're connecting and associating and relating to others ain't so individual, so to yourself, like to the point people don't even want to feel like they could align you with what people are collectively into as far as having fun, being social. All right, not saying Aquariuses don't like to have fun, but your practical way of looking at how you associate yourself could be the very thing that blocks opportunities for you to learn how you can add some creative endeavors of how you learn from other people into the things you're working on. All right, like for example, in Aquarius, you guys may feel like during this Leo season, if you get invited somewhere, or you may feel like that party or whatever you got invited to can't provide no resources, no people there that's into what you're into, or it has nothing to do with the things that you're serious about in your life or the people you're trying to associate yourself with. But it's Leo season. You just want to get out, be seen. You want to give yourself to give a chance to express yourself, create newness in your life, give birth to new relationships, new people, new situations, new environments. So you could miss out on being in a certain environment because you're trying to be too individual in your ways of relating and associating yourself, when you could have just went out and ended up starting a relationship with somebody that is correlated to directly what you're into. So Aquarius, you have to learn align yourself with the things that are being highlighted, or we want to see what is it that you want to highlight or express or put on the stage in this lifetime. Because Aquariuses know how to get the attention, but they know how to do it by being an individual, when Leos know how to do what everybody else doing but better. So Aquarius it's like you playing the balance this season. You have to learn to be that individual, but you also have to learn to see what that light look like and see how that light can help you cultivate what you're doing at the moment. Find that balance between practicality, between your relationships, and what could be gained on a creative, artistic, fifth house level creative expression type of way. All right, last but not least, when we talk about you Pisces, this Leo season, Pisces, see, this is another in conjunction angle. This is almost opposite to Leo, all right? Now, the thing about Pisces is mutable water ruled by Jupiter. So this is being mutable and adaptable towards your own and other ways of people dealing with feelings and emotions. And then you're ruled by Jupiter. So you're dealing with spirituality, learning from your experiences, building bigger, broader perspectives on things, connecting to the collective consciousness, learning from your experiences, all right? Dealing with the abstract, intuition. So this season, you Pisces are already creative as hell. You guys already have a really strong source of creativity, because Leo's dealing with creative expression, pushing out. But before we express, it comes from a source. That creative expression comes from a creative source. Pisces is dealing with that creative source. They may not always express it though. They may not always deal with the vulnerability of trying to see how to make it practical and taking action on that and putting it into the world. They may be building a lot of illusions, or they may stay daydreaming a lot. They may stay in that realm. All right. Now, Leo season, you Pisces are going to be influenced to have your actions meet your imagination. You're going to be influenced to put your imagination in the spotlight. So this season, Pisces, when you're bumping into people, places, and things, you know, new environments, whatever type of outlets, situations, experiences you can take advantage of in order to express or take action on things from your imagination, things from your dreams, that's going to be supported. All right, once again, you guys are one of the most creative people, but your feelings and emotions that's tied to your imagination, that's such a sacred relationship, how you feel about things in your relationship, and that affects how you guys act on it. This season is supporting us to act and express things on a creative level, on an artistic level. When we say this is what the sun is influencing us to do, that means when we do these things, we're being supported in that energy. All right, we're being influenced to take action in those things. So yes, Pisces, shoot things out from your imagination. All right, once again, we know something from the imagination either gonna be creative or an illusion. All right, when we in Leo season, we want to go with the intuition of things. We want to go with the flow of things, because it's fire. It's dealing with our feelings. It's dealing with our visions, how we see things. It's being inspired. So Pisces, when you catch these inspiration moments during Leo season, when you're inspired, or you feel called to push something out from your imagination, push that out. Deal with that vulnerability. See how that feels. You deal with the experience that comes from that. See what the reception is with that. All right. Once again, a lot of my Pisces, we could stay in the yin realm. We could stay in the spirit world. We could stay in the dream world. And that's a world we got to be in tune with, because that is the real world. But we want to make sure we give light to that. We want to make sure we take action on that. We want to make sure we give birth to that this season, this Leo season. All right, Pisces? So overall, family, this is the collective reading for all signs during Leo season. Understand, every season we have to make sure we know what the energy is, so we can see how to adjust our energies. So when these influences come, we know what lessons we're supposed to be taking part in, what opportunity we want to take advantage of, how we want to utilize our gifts. All right, all of that. We want to understand all of these energies. Okay, this season we having a full moon in Aquarius. All right, so we're gonna have to understand a lot about releasing and detaching from relationships and people that support our forms of stability. All right, that support how we're cultivating our reality that we live in. So we're gonna have to deal with that when we get to the full moon in Aquarius. All right, but for now, this is how we're gonna have to correlate our energies and things, influences to look out for all my sun signs out there during this Leo season. So once again, happy birthday to all my Leos. Happy solar return. We're watching y'all. All right, y'all the stars right now. Y'all the star, main star, leading role star actors of the movie right now. So we hope y'all have I hope everybody has a prosperous, productive Leo season. All right, family. You guys also want to make sure you type into Garden of Consciousness website. All right, guys, check out our free downloadables. Check out the reading options we have. And I will be following up with another reading, all right, sometime towards the weekend. Understand what energies we're going to be experiencing during the week with the moon transits that we got. All right, family. So until then, peace.